This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, Beef and Lamb New Zealand remains committed to its goal of becoming carbon neutral by 2050. A promising police puppy has arrived in Dunedin and is loving life. And people in Dunedin have been treated to the sight of a tug motoring up and down Otago Harbour, while flight paramedics were winched down then hauled back up. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Simon Anderson. Beef and Lamb New Zealand remains committed to its goal of becoming carbon neutral by 2050. Their annual Farm Smart conference was held in Christchurch yesterday. And while they're committed to supporting farmers to improve their environmental performance, they're cautious about the government's zero carbon amendment bill.
Dairy farming, a big earner for the country, but also the biggest carbon emitter as well. In fact, new figures by Stats NZ show dairy cattle farming is the only agriculture industry to record an increase in emissions over the last decade. That was certainly one of the big talking points at this year's Beef and Lamb New Zealand Farm Smart conference in Christchurch. The theme this year, Push Play, how data is transforming our world, with discussions tackling the zero carbon bill, the emissions trading scheme and climate change.
We really wanted to be involved in the conversation with government and the regulators. We didn't want to be not at the table, and as it's worked out, we are better to be at the table. The same with the environment and the like. You're better to be at the table and part of the discussion rather than throwing stones from the outside.
Smith says while farmers recognise they need to make changes, it's important to ensure new legislation sets achievable targets.
The government are very engaging, but are they listening? So nothing's actually come into legislation yet, either in the environment scene or the climate scene, but it will remain to be seen.
Also on the menu, the threat of alternative proteins like Beyond Meat and the Impossible Burger, something Smith has had the pleasure of tasting.
Yeah, it was the only thing on the menu, unfortunately, and when I did try it, I was, I wasn't that pleased with it, to be honest, but that's a real good thing because it was very dry. It was like sawdust, and I was asked when I finished it, what did you think of that? And I said, well, I won't be rushing back for another one.
Submissions for the Zero Carbon Amendment Bill close in just over 2 weeks. No doubt a good chunk of those submissions will come from the people in this room. In Christchurch, The South Today.
The old Mornington Baptist Church on the corner of Elgin Road and English Avenue in Dunedin has been demolished. The church was knocked down yesterday by an excavator. The property is owned by Dunedin resident Ryan Primus, who initially intended to redevelop the 1950s building into a house. But he says the decaying state of the building and the need for earthquake strengthening made it cost prohibitive. He says the building wasn't in a good state and wasn't weathertight either. It was designed by Edmund Anscombe and built in 1911. Surrounding buildings on the site are set to be relocated to make way for a new family home. A promising police puppy has arrived in Dunedin and is loving life. Judge, a jet black German Shepherd, came to the city about 6 weeks ago, fresh from the breeding program at the Police Dog Training Centre in Trentham.
Meet Judge, the latest addition to Dunedin's canine police force. He's now living with local dog handler Constable Regan Wilson, who says the 13-week-old pup is already showing potential.
He's going good. There's a few scratches on my hands that show he knows what he's doing already, so hopefully that continues.
But there's a long way to go for the energetic German Shepherd before he hits the beat.
It sounds promising, but long way to go. So there's 3 courses that we have to complete before he gets that far, and then hopefully onto an armed defender's dog with this one too. So that's a separate course as well.
For now, Judge is settling into life in Dunedin and lives at home with Wilson and his operational police dog, South. They've been partners since graduating from the New Zealand Police Dog Training Centre in August last year.
He's just alongside him at the moment, and then when Judge gets operational, he'll probably take over.
Judge appears to be in good hands. Wilson and his current dog South have already racked up an impressive list of achievements as part of the Dunedin Dog section, led by Sergeant Mike Calvert. But for young Judge, he'll have to wait about another 1.5 years before getting in on the action. In Dunedin, The South Today.
A spectacular hoarfrost greeted residents of Omaka this morning. Temperatures plummeted throughout central Otago overnight, resulting in these stunning images in and around Omaka. They were filmed at around 9 a.m. when the temperature was still -4 degrees. Hoarfrosts are a feature of this region at this time of year as winter sets in. Temperatures are set to plummet again overnight, ranging from -1 degree to -4 across central Otago. People in Dunedin were treated to a sight yesterday of a tug motoring up and down Otago Harbour while flight paramedics were winched down and then hauled back up. It was all part of the regular training Otago Regional Rescue Helicopter crew members perform throughout the year.
Being winched onto a moving boat in Otago Harbour. A rescue helicopter flight paramedic is lowered onto the Port Otago tug, a Heri, as part of a regular training exercise. Heli Otago Operations Manager Kevin Gale says the training usually involves multiple winching attempts.
They're just coming up and down the harbour, and we just come around and formate on them, and we're just practising putting our medics onto a ship, if you like.
He says helicopter winching is an exercise they practice regularly in different environments.
It's something we've got to do every 90 days. We do winch currency, and we do an annual check, a competency check every 12 months, and we do other stuff in between.
Gale says a lot of the winching they do is for people stuck in bush or on a cliff face. And when winching a person onto a boat, good communication is essential.
It's really important when we're over the boat that the patter's going. You know, you've got the chat coming out of the winchman to the pilot, because the pilot essentially can't see where we're winching to, so you're basically painting a picture by telling them.
This week's winching exercise ended prematurely when the rescue helicopter was deployed to an emergency call-out in central Otago. In Dunedin, for the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, a former Queenstown high school is demolished to make way for property developments, and a group of Dunedin high school students have knitted blankets for those in need. See you after the break.
It's too late to sow seed, but don't despair. Ready Lawn is the answer to all your garden woes. Call Ready Lawn today on 027 22 88 190.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, this technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chin.
Ricky here from Beds R Us Dunedin, your local sleep specialists. Come in and try our huge touchscreen sleep selector, taking the hard work out of choosing the right bed for you. See you here.
The season has changed, and at Alex Campbell Menswear in our 3 stores, Cromwell, South Dunedin and Mosgiel, we have it covered. Check out these jackets. They'll keep you warm and dry and stylish. Of course, we're known for our fashion shirts, but in the winter we do have our lovely warm shirts. Look at them all. And we're known for our great range of winter knitwear too. Don't forget our stretch moleskins, 6 colours.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
We'll keep you warm and dry and looking just great.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects, from the rare to the recent. And where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274. If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Evening, I'm from the Parks Department. Have you got a permit for that fire?
No Maianor, welcome back. It's something some school pupils may have dreamed of, while others may shed a tear for their old haunt. The demolition of the former Wakatipu High School building on Friar Street in Queenstown has begun. The demolition of the 22 buildings, including the swimming pool, stadium and gym, is set to take about 6 months. The school has been relocated to a site at Remarkables Park. Naitahu Property Limited has bought the old site and has released an aerial artist's impression of what the planned development at the former school site may look like. The company plans to build a 300-plus housing development on the 4-hectare site. Pupils at Dunedin's Columba College have been busy knitting blankets to help the city's most needy families keep warm over winter. The Pupil Run initiative has already created 10 blankets to be distributed by Presbyterian Support, and they're planning on making more.
Brand new blankets ready for donation to families in need. These rugs have been created by Columba College pupils as an initiative to help keep Dunedin's most vulnerable people warm. Columba College chaplain Dr. Jennifer McLeod says the project is about giving back to those in need.
Just awareness of the cold Dunedin winter and the need in our community, so students have been gaining an awareness of that and a desire to do something practical about the real needs in our community.
Many of the school's pupils have now knitted hundreds of squares to make up the blankets. A task they say is a relaxing way to spend time.
It's just very calming, and it's something to do when you just sort of lots of free time.
The final stitching together of the 20 squares is done by study supervisor Belinda van der Zand, and she says the project helps teach the pupils the value of doing a job as well as possible.
A little thing makes a big difference if it's done in the right way and properly. So these are, you know, they're the prettiest that we can make for somebody, so it's a nice gift to give them.
She says the idea came to her from her own time at school, where she knitted for charity.
From the age of 7 at my school, every student had to make 10 Peggy squares to go to Oxfam. So I thought, well, why don't we do that for Presbyterian Support?
Presbyterian Support say the colourful blankets will be much appreciated by the recipient families.
Wow, that is amazing. Thank you so much. We have a lot of our clients that are actually looking for bedding and blankets all the time, especially at this time of the year, and there's always a limited supply in our op shops, and I know that these will be well and truly valued.
The knitting group say they already have enough extra squares to make at least another 2 blankets, and no plans yet to stop knitting for charity. In Dunedin, for the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, a jump jam has Canterbury kids grooving, and we check out the weekend's weather.
Young dancers of the present and of the future, my last word is to you.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
The season has changed And like Campbell Menswear, in our 3 stores, Cromwell, South Dunedin and Mosgiel, we have it covered. Check out these jackets. They'll keep you warm and dry and stylish. Of course, we're known for our fashion shirts, but in the winter we do have our lovely warm shirts. Look at them all. And we're known for our great range of winter knitwear too. Don't forget our stretch moleskins, 6 colours.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
We'll keep you warm and dry and looking just great.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Step into Shop on Carol and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, this technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chin.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
It's too late to sow seed, but don't despair. Ready Lawn is the answer to all your garden woes. Call Ready Lawn today on 027 22 88 190.
Thanks for staying with us. Hundreds of pupils from across South Canterbury have taken part in the annual Canterbury Jump Jam extravaganza. Timaru's Theatre Royal was filled with music and applause as children in years 1 to 8 took part in the dance-based high-energy event.
It was all thriller, no filler. At Theatre Royal in Timaru this week, as teams from across South Canterbury danced for glory in the annual South Canterbury Jump Jam.
Absolutely. Sport Canterbury's really excited to present this year's Jump Jam extravaganza. It's the 11th year we've put this show together, and the primary schools from South Canterbury put a lot of energy and effort and time into putting their teams together.
The primary schools competition began more than a decade ago. The Grantley Downs Amigos among the year 4 to 6 teams giving it their all in the event. Sport Canterbury's Leanne Lang says nearly 60 teams took part.
Really excited to have almost 700 participants go through the Theatre Royal today, from years 1 to years 8. 58 teams, amazing.
There are 5 sections, from years 1 to 4 teams to years 7 to 8 teams, along with open and novice sections. Waimate Apocalypse from Waimate High School are in the year 7 to 8 section, and proving that a song written by a man who's been dead for 10 years is still great to dance to. In South Canterbury, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Beef and Lamb New Zealand's annual Farm Smart conference was held recently, with the organisation committed to its carbon neutral goal by 2050. A promising police puppy has arrived in Dunedin and is loving life, on the way to becoming a fully fledged police dog. And people in Dunedin were treated to the sight of a tugboat motoring up and down Otago Harbour, while flight paramedics were winched down then hauled back up. And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with our southern view, winter trees at Bathgate Park in South Dunedin. Looking at the situation, A big anticyclone is moving over central New Zealand, but with a westerly airflow increasing over southern districts. The airflow tends northerly by Sunday as the anticyclone departs, ahead of some fronts due early next week. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect cloudy skies and 11 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim are likely to have a cloud or two and 14 degrees. In Canterbury, plan for a cloudy but crisp winter's day. Cold in the morning and night but very pleasant during the day. 13 in Kaikoura and 12 for Christchurch and Ashburton. Looking at the southern towns, fresh westerlies and mostly cloudy conditions for most, and a few showers in this area. The Catlins heads for 11, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore can all look forward to a high of 12 degrees. Travelling westward to the Central Lakes, Wanaka and Alexandra can expect moderate westerlies, some cloud and highs of 11 degrees. Similar for Queenstown, just a bit colder with a high of 9. It'll be showery in Te Anau with a high of 12. Looking to the northern towns, along the coast, Timaru and Oamaru are in for moderate westerlies, some high clouds and highs each of 13. A bit chillier inland, where Twizel and Omarama can expect fresh westerlies, some cloud and a high of just 11 degrees. In Dunedin, some high cloud tonight with light northerly winds, with a chilly overnight low of 4. Fine tomorrow and Sunday with sunny periods and high cloud, and moderate to fresh north to northwesterly winds. Tomorrow sees a high of 13 and a low of 5, and it's 14 and 5 on Sunday. Heading to Invercargill. Cloudy tonight with moderate to fresh westerlies with an overnight low of 6. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with a few scattered light showers at times, a high of 13 and a low of 7. Winds easing on Sunday with a high of 12 and a low of 7. And that's our news this Friday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening and weekend. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.